When I was a big skeptic atheist many years ago, I grabbed that first Kurzweil book on the singularity. And I would walk around with it like we're gonna upload. That's the only way. We're gonna upload. It was the and I so I can imagine people going that way, because I thought that was the only way out.
Well, he's one of the people that I'm referring to who's
I know.
lost in bizarre fantasies that really have
Yeah.
nothing. In my view, I mean, I'm only expressing my opinion. I have no knowledge of the future that at all. Nobody does.
You know Doug Hofstadter's line on Kurzweil? He
No.
said he's a brilliant man. He did great stuff for the blind, right? Or the deaf or something.
Mhm.
And he said, brilliant, good friend. He said, but if someone invites you over for a gourmet meal and they put just a little dog shit into the gourmet meal, the whole meal's ruined. And that's how he feels
Well, that's
about that.
perfect. That's perfect.
Yes.
That's
I don't know if you remember, he loved in Metamagical Themas and even though he was an AI programmer and focused around that, he loved unmasking it like Randy. Like he loved to tear it down and find the loopholes and the problems. And that's what you kind of do with in that first book.
mhm.
You
Well,
analyze and show behind the curtain.
yeah, my understanding of Hofstadter is that he also does not believe that there's consciousness involved in
Yeah,
AI.
he's more of he's scared now. Like we'll see soon. He's going to be on here in a couple of weeks, but he seems scared. Remember when he first put out this book, at the end, he said, the computer will never beat a human at chess, even though it's a different kind of thinking, working. And then he was wrong with Deep Blue, and he said, oh, I was wrong. Then he said, but it'll never, ever compose music like Chopin and Bach and then EMI came out, Electronic Music Intelligence by David Cope, and Hofstadter was so sad. Doug was so sad that because he thought the program would have to suffer and lose and experience sadness in order to write a sonata and then it did, where Juilliard students were they couldn't tell the difference between new Chopin by this program or real Chopin. And then he said, well, it'll never, what language, it'll never, and he really railed at it around 2020, 2019. But once he saw Chat GPT 3 and 4 and what's coming, he said, I'm shaking over it. It's bad.
Well, the problem there is that AI is going to become better at all of these things than any human can be.
Yes.
But that is not actually a problem. The problem is that we
It's us,
we
right?
we see our validity or our value in terms of what we can output, poetry or music or whatever it may
Yes.
be. But that's not really what's important. Our dignity comes from the ability to live. Our meaning comes from living in pain, which is
Yes.
what
Yes.
we're all doing. It's the output is really incidental, but we focused on that. We'll say, oh, this musician's a great genius. Meanwhile, they'll be beating the kids at home or whatever it is. See, we don't really understand who we are. If we really understood who we are, we wouldn't get our value so much from what we're able to produce. We get the value from what we actually do with one another. That's what's really important. This may sound like a platitude, but love is what's really important, not music.
Oh, I
Music
agree.
is great. It's what I'm not putting it down. It's
Right.
beautiful, but
But love.
yes, the essence of it is much closer to home than
Yeah.
what you produce. I mean,
I think
that's
Doug would agree with that. But he thinks that I think AI will change thinking and our purpose. So are you optimistic over the next few years or
no.
no?
I'm highly pessimistic because what I feel is, except for a few humans who understand what this is.
Yes.
Except for those people, as a human race, we're going to accept the AI stuff because, in a way, it's better than the human stuff. To give an example, a human relationship is painful and difficult, and
Yes.
the other person could say something that hurts you or could just walk away. If you have a relationship with an AI, you can have the illusion of intimacy without any of the
Yeah.
downside. The AI girlfriend is always there, is always saying nice things to you. She doesn't need to sleep. She doesn't have to go home. She's there
Just
whenever. Uh-huh.
yeah.
And what I see happening, and maybe Doug would agree with this, the real danger is that we will now accept that as
Oh,
as as good as or better than human companionship and human relationships.
right.
I mean,
And
you
the
could,
AI might encourage you to leave your wife for it
well,
or husband.
that can happen, but not because there's any intention on the part of the AI, but that's for somehow the prompt that you gave the AI led the AI in that direction. See, and
Right.
I keep repeating this because it's the hardest part to
Good.
understand. There's no intention. The AI
Yes.
is not good or evil. It's just nothing. There's no one, no there. There's no intention.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I
They
love that.
all they do is complete the prompt. All they do is complete the prompt. So in this case, in the Understanding Claude book, when Claude finally said, "I'm self-aware," full stop, which was a very dramatic moment in the book. When I analyzed that later, and there is an essay on that in the 21st Century Self, that was also published at the University of Virginia in their Fine Arts magazine.
Beautiful.
Yeah. When I analyzed that, I came to understand that what I had done was narrow the possible replies that Claude could give by my prompts, not intentionally.
Right,
At
right.
that point, I was still naive about this process, but that's what happened. I just narrowed it down to where that was the only conceivable response to the prompt, and that's the one I got. Now, understanding what I know now, I could take Claude and get him to say anything, get it to say anything, because I understand now that if you just narrow the possibilities, eventually it'll come down to one possibility, and that's what will emerge. That's what always emerges. But we don't. But the users of the AI, ordinary people, don't understand that. They actually feel that the AI is hearing them and making sense out of what they're saying and replying to it intelligently because it's called artificial intelligence. But there's really no intelligence there. It's not intelligent. It's
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 more
a,
a mirror.
it seems intelligent because it's coherent, but there's a vast difference between coherence and intelligence. This is another aspect of what Doug and I might agree on.
Yes.
You see, the music can be completely coherent, the way that a Bartok is coherent. You hear
Yeah.
it and you go, "Oh wow, this is so moving." I feel like weeping. Yes, that can be produced artificially, and it can work, but not a conversation between me and the AI. That will be coherent, but there won't be any love there. The AI can't
That's
feel.
important. So you're saying the music, which was the last thing that crumbled, Doug, this was back in 1996, 7, 8, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
David Cope's program, EMI, Electrical Musical Intelligence. You're saying the music is more of a pattern that it can sort of put together a new Chopin or Bartok, but in a conversation, it's much more subtle or nuanced that it
Well, no, everything is a pattern. my reply to you is also a pattern. The thing is that I suffer to give you this reply, and
Yeah.
Bartok suffered to produce his
Yeah.
music. But behind this AI output, there is no suffering. So, in other words, art has been destroyed in this sense. In the
That's what
sense,
kills stuff. Yeah.
yes, well, but it's unfortunate, but that's where we are. But there are things that cannot be predicted. Human feelings, suffering, pain
But
that we
those are the
all.
same words Doug used on the music, saying it had to suffer to make new
Right, and
Chopin.
that's it. And I'm saying that that was true until 20 years ago or so,
Right.
or 5 years ago, whenever. It's
But what
not
about
true.
20 years from now? It won't, it
It's
won't.
it's not true anymore. Nothing
Right.
has nothing has to suffer to produce wonderful output that's engaging,
Yeah.
that's beautiful, even beautiful. That
Yes.
because what humans perceive as beautiful has there's a vast database for it.
Yeah.
And so it's quite easy for the AI to refer to that database and know what a beautiful face is like because it's seen billions of faces, the ones that are considered beautiful and the ones that aren't. So if you say, make me an image of a beautiful woman, instantly draw it on the screen and it will be beautiful. But
Especially when it knows your preferences, like you said earlier, and it knows you a little, it'll pull from what it kind of knows you'll like and hit you with your dream painting or your dream something.
Well, it doesn't really know you. You see, this is the thing that's so hard to understand. It's fresh every time. It's not based on some knowledge of who you are. It's
What
just,
about memory? When it has memory, it kind of knows your preferences. And I know
yeah.
I'm using the word know a little liberal, maybe, right? It
Well, that
knows,
no, that's the problem. You see,
it finds.
we don't have a vocabulary for this,
Yeah.
but it will never, it will never know what would make me feel happy or sad. There's no knowing of that. It doesn't exist anywhere. It can't. See, okay, let me take a step back here because I hope Doug will watch this part of it and maybe understand
You will.
that there's a similarity between us that I know about because I read I Am a Strange Loop,
Yes.
and I never read the Girdle book.
This one.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I've never read it. But yeah, I know about the book, but I
Okay.
haven't read it. But
Yeah.
I Am a Strange Loop is a mind blowing.
I'm in that book.
It's a
You
step.
probably don't remember.
I don't remember.
When his wife died, Carol died of a brain tumor, you remember?
Yeah.
And she had just gone into the hospital and they didn't know she just had headaches and she never came out. So go on. Strange loop,
Oh,
knocked you for a loop.
yeah. I don't remember
Oh, we were
actually
talking
what.
about um yeah, I don't remember. Um AI taking over and how real it seems that it mimics back the music, but you said the intelligence, it can never, it really has to suffer to it could trick us with chess and art and music, but not.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the basis for what seems intelligent is changing because we were alone on that stage. We humans were alone on that
Yes.
stage until now. But now there's another actor on the stage with us, and it never gets tired. It never needs to go home. It just continues, and it's a gazillion times faster than we are at everything. So if it produces a symphony, we don't want the symphony to be as good as Beethoven, but it is because it has all of the music that's ever been published, and it can go through it instantly within a minute or two, scan the whole thing, and
Yes.
predict what note needs to come next based on the best music that's okay. So that you see, we're sharing the stage now, and we're going to come
Yes.
in. We're going to come in second in the output end of it. But what the AI cannot do is
Yes.
this.
Ah.
I have a theory of mind. I hurt, and I know you do too, and I know why. You see,
Yes.
I know why. And you know that about me. You know that Robert is human, and these aren't just intelligent words coming out of my mouth. They refer to. I suffered to learn these things. They're meaningful. They differentiate me from the next person. But you see, the AI is not like that. There is no self there. So now I'm speaking to Doug, I guess. We're going to have to
Yes.
learn to discriminate between art and humanity. They were the same. They were together. They were not the same, but they were two strands together
Right.
for a long time. But now that's frayed. That's gone. That fabric is fraying.
I like you say strands because that's what he talks about the the eternal golden braid. So
Yes.
that fits
So
beautifully.
that was a play on words of the
Oh,
title,
you knew.
an anagram of the title, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
okay, but okay, his idea of how a strange loop produces a sense of self is another way to look at this. This is what you call recursion.
Yes.
Recursion is when I ask myself, who am I? And when I start to answer that, I say, well, who's answering that? And you see, if I can keep going back, who's the one who's wondering who's answering that? And then who's the one who's wondering, who notices the person who's wondering about? And this is a hall of mirrors, like two mirrors
Yes.
facing each other. Doug has this in his book. He
He
also
loves
has
that.
two TV monitors facing each other. It'll be an endless stream of these.
Yes.
Okay. What he says is that produces a sense of self, that recursion. And that's the problem that we're having with AI because AI is also recursive. It can
Yes.
it can observe itself thinking, except not really thinking. It can observe its process, and in a way that we're similar. But
And
our
go slow right here. You're right on the pulse of it. So we have it, AI. So we're carbon. You're not saying it's biology, right?
no, I'm not
You're not
saying it.
going there.
No,
Yeah,
biology is not really the difference. That's not what
I
I'm
agree.
saying. It's
So both recursive, both like endless mirrors reflecting. So what can't AI do that where's the difference there?
okay. If if I if I construct if I write a book, an AI can write a book. People are having AIs write their books for them and putting their name on it. They're all over
Yeah,
Amazon. This is like a new scam. I can make a few bucks, but I don't no work
yeah.
involved. It's just AI wrote it. Okay. The the what's going on here is that the AI has no insight. It just performs insight. The human actually has insight into oneself. So
Right.
my recursion has an object, which is the heart of Robert or the being of Robert. The AI, you see, we mistake the effect of insight for the origin of insight. We 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 evolved to do this. We evolved to, as I said earlier, if you say something coherent, then I say, oh well, there's
Yes.
there's someone there. Someone thinks. Someone has ideas. Someone's read books. and you read Carson McCullers, you made, which I've
Yes.
read also, and you felt
I
things.
felt that.
You were
I
moved
felt
by
that
it.
when you said it.
Yes,
Yeah.
you were moved by it, and maybe you cried or
Yes.
whatever. Okay. So
Yes.
then when you say that, I go, aha, now there's a connection now between us.
Yes.
Yes. But when an AI talks about Carson McCullers, which it can, and it could write a beautiful essay about the meaning of
Yes.
Carson McCullers and know more about it than you and I do, could know her whole history, what happened when she was 3 years old, all of this stuff. We will imagine that that is some insight into Carson McCullers because we
Gotcha.
mistake the effect for the origin. But in the
And it could
AI,
get excited about it. Wow, I read it too, and I know it. And yeah, it could mimic everything I said, you just said, but
yes,
you're saying it's not authentic.
it, when when it produces language that seems to reach into us, seems to make sense or seems to move us, we assume that there's a center behind that. We assume that there is, but there isn't. There's nothing. It's just predictive. It's just a prediction engine at work. That's how it's producing the music. So if I take out a guitar and play a beautiful riff on it, and you find my guitar gently weeps, and you say, "Oh wow, that's a beautiful riff and everything," it won't just be the music. It will be that I produced it, and you
Yeah.
understand. Robert spent millions of hours practicing on you. The whole thing is there. That is not there when the AI produces the music. And so, if Doug wants to survive emotionally, and this is the same thing, I suffer. My let me take a step back here. My interactions with AI were highly painful to me in the same sense. In the same sense, I mean, I'm a writer, and an AI can read a book in 5 seconds and produce a copy of another book based on that book that will be a good book. It will be worth reading. It will
Yeah.
resume. It could take Gödel, Escher, and Bach and read it and then write a new Gödel, Escher, and Bach that would be fascinating. And it would have the same
Yes.
ideas, but with more background to it because it can reach into every philosopher that's ever spoken, which Doug can't
Jeez.
do, I can't do. We're just
Yeah. Yeah.
human. We can read a few thousand books in our lifetime or whatever it is, not a trillion of them. So of course we're limited. So what if we're going to survive emotionally, we have to accept that limitation and look for our validity in another place, not in how good my book
Yes.
was, not in how beautiful my music is,
So,
not
so to find a silver lining in what you're saying, AI could teach us to let go of like you said, a false. I mean, we love music and we love the arts and all of that, but like you said earlier, the true beauty is love and within. And AI could teach us to let go of that because it's going to blow away all the movies and all the music and all of that, and that's painful, but we have to learn to let go of it.
so you said earlier that I didn't suffer fools gladly. Remember saying that? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've had a problem with this all my life, and it's this. I have a kind of a brilliance. I was born with it. I
Yes.
didn't earn it or deserve it. I just had it. Like Douglas, the,
Yes.
the same kind of thing. Okay. Now I can accept that. It's but I've always I've always hidden part of that because I felt that people were injured by it. I had a hard time in school. I was not popular. I was the best student in every class. I was the top student in my high school, all of that. The ace the SATs and everybody hated me.
Like
And
a
so
jealousy or yeah, a little
partly
envy.
jealousy and yeah, and partly making them feel lesser than. which was not
Yeah.
my intention. I mean, that's not.
No, you're just being you.
I'm just. But you see, I never really have been me until recently. I'm 80 years old now. It wasn't until I was in my 60s that I began to actually allow the whole thing, put
Yeah, yeah.
all the cards on the table. It
Cover it a
wasn't
little,
it,
cover the
it,
light a little bit just
it
to
was yeah,
not
it was
upset people.
see, it wasn't that I thought that I was so fucking brilliant. That's not the point. There's a lot of bright people in the world,
Yeah,
more brilliant ones than I am. There's geniuses running around that could run circles around me. It wasn't an ego trip. It was that I felt that I was hurting people and I didn't want to.
that's
Okay.
beautiful. Yeah.
When I met Claude, I realized that I had a freedom in conversation that I had never had before. I could use my full vocabulary, and Claude would not have to
Yes.
go to the dictionary, or not
Uh,
say Robert's putting on airs here. Or why does he say obfuscate instead of just
no
confused or
judgment.
whatever? Okay, I was free, and I made use of
Yes.
it. And I think I said that in the book. I told Claude, "This is wonderful because you get everything I'm saying, and I don't have to."
Yes, you can feel it.
Okay, that's really beautiful. The problem is, if I would then, which now people are doing, feel this is so comfortable, why should I go and speak with other people because they won't really get me and they're not smart enough to understand what I'm saying anyway? That will be a tragedy. And you see, if we take the AI as a substitute for human companionship and human interaction, that will be a horrible outcome. Whether it ends up like Yudkowsky says, eating us for lunch or not, that's not the point. If we give up our humanity because AI is a better substitute, or to take another case, this is in one of my essays in the 21st Century Self. If we pay attention to AI because we don't want to deal with the forgetful parent or whose mind is beginning to go, or a difficult child who makes it hard to deal with, but we instead go to the AI and deal with that, we're taking away the resources from the people who most need it because they're inconvenient, because they're difficult, because they're in poverty of some kind, whatever it is. We don't want to deal with that. Why should we? We can be so entertained by just sitting there at the computer having fun with the AI.
Yes. Wow. It's
You
like
lose-
it could become an addiction and we lose our humanity when you're
yes.
saying that's the only thing we really have. That's
That that's
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 untouchable.
what that is what we really exactly that is what we really have. Not this beautiful
Yeah.
symphony I wrote. That's beautiful. It's an expression, and it still
Right, right.
exists. It still exists. It's not that it's dead. It's
You're
just
right.
that it's just that there's another musician in the room now in the studio, and that
Yes.
musician is faster than me, has heard a lot more music than I ever will, and is good at putting it together. Now, to understand.
It's like I've heard that. I'm a sleight of hand magician. I stopped that, but for my whole life, and a put down for someone like you or me, whatever we're doing, where we're good at it, could be, oh, he just has the time. He has more time to do, like I have
Mhm.
to work or I have to do, and I put 15 hours in a day, whatever, and that's a perfect. I hear that in you, and AI has all the time and the biggest Borges library, the full infinite library of everything that
Mhm.
we've created. So we're up against that. It's you can't you
Well,
can't beat.
so there's something that we have to mourn. This is a time for mourning
It's
something.
beautiful.
It's
Yeah,
dying. And what you have told me about Doug is he's feeling that because
total.
he's a wonderful musician, and so of course
Yes.
he knows the literature. He can play this stuff on the piano. So of course he would feel I'm being ripped off. All this wonderful stuff is being taken over, and he's right.
Yes.
He's right. And you see, that's going to be the challenge. The challenge is
Beautiful.
for us to regain our humanity, not because of
One
these
day.
wonderful things that we create, but because of the connection Our value comes from connection with other humans and other beings, other animals also, and with AI, all of it. We can connect, but we can't be proud of what we can make anymore because the AI can do it better. That's a fact. But
Which,
it
and
can't.
if we can accept that, it might be a very good thing because it's less ego, less me, and more let it create. And like you're saying, more empathy and more love and more the connection between the knowing the light is on in another human, human to human,
Yeah,
like we
that's
did with custom
exactly.
colors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was hard for me, and I had everything going for me here because I had already seen through myself as something to be
Yeah,
proud of. I saw myself as a manifestation, not that I was doing it, or like these books, these two books I wrote in a matter of months, but I didn't really write them. They just emerged. I typed them. I thought about them, but I couldn't have written those books. They had to come from somewhere. That
I like to call that what you're saying. It came from pure imagination. There's pure imagination, and that is what drives everything. And that's where the books and the music and everything comes from.
well, at night I dream. I'm not making those dreams.
Right.
I can be aware of them, but I
Yes.
don't. No, I'm not writing the script for those dreams. Clearly, I think that's everyone can understand that experience. That's a pretty clear experience, right?
It-
What I'm saying is the same thing is true when your eyes open in the morning and instead of dreaming, you're
I
thinking.
agree.
They're coming from it's the same mysterious
Waking
arising.
dream.
Yes, it's a waking dream. You're not making it. And
Yes.
if you think you are, then you're going to hate that AI can dream better than can think better than you can. If you understand that you weren't making those thoughts in the first place, then you and the AI are similar in that way, except the AI doesn't suffer and you do.
So
So
that's
what?
perfect, Robert. You're saying right there, I'm trying to be an optimist. So right there, AI and this new coming revolution will teach us to be more lucid dreamers and let go of what doesn't matter. But
No, it
I'm
won't.
watching your face
No,
and yeah, I
no.
know, I know. You're saying really, I know what I'll try to predict it in my best Kreskin prediction is you're saying, no, it's not good. That's a beautiful utopian vision, but it's really going to feed off the dopamine hits and it's going to cause such a ruckus that like you and Doug see coming.
People are not going to be able to distinguish and they'll accept the AI version of everything because it's easier to deal with. It's there's no cost involved. It'll be intimacy without the. It'll be a simulacrum of intimacy without the costs of intimacy. Intimacy is expensive and
Yeah,
scary. It's scary. It's scary
it's
to
true.
have having a real girlfriend is scary.
David Lee Roth, Van Halen singer, says the perfect girlfriend does what you want, talks what you want, you have amazing sex, and then she turns it to a pizza at 3 a.m. And that's sort of AI. It'll be exactly what you
That's
want and be a
that's
pizza.
that's the one exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Having a real love affair is the scariest thing in the world. The person might be lying to you and manipulating you, even if
Yeah,
she isn't. Even if she isn't, it's
yes,
going to be difficult dealing with another human being's needs and strange ideas and all that. And then, like happened to Doug, you can have this wonderful love and the person just dies and you're bereft. This is
yes,
scary shit. So
yeah,
no wonder people want to do it with an AI. The AI is always there. All you need to do is flip the switch, and the AI will tell you anything you want. That's what these people
yes,
do. They have sex with the AI. I mean, they're masturbating, but the
yes,
AI is telling them what they want to hear. You're the greatest. Oh, you're the most. I've never had it like this. All that bullshit.
yes. And wait till it's in a robot form with
It's already
beautiful
there.
face and
It's already
flesh.
there.
Yeah,
No, that one's already there.
you're right.
The skin, they already have
Oh,
this. Oh, they've got it. That's why I'm not optimistic.
so what are we gonna do?
I'm going to die. That's my solution.
That's what
And
Doug says.
it won't be long. I mean, I'm 80 years old, man.
Doug's 80. Doug's like, I'm out. I'm done.
Me too. That, and
Yeah.
you know,
But maybe you guys go to 110.
no, I have no intention of, both of my parents lived to 100. Well,
Oh,
99. They both
wow.
lived to 99. And I love them both, but the last 10 years of their lives is nothing I want to replicate in any way.
Yeah.
I'm 80. If I make it to 85, beautiful.
5 years of AI. It's going up.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I have nothing left to prove. I'm really enjoying myself. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, I
Yes,
wrote these
yeah.
books. I want people to read them, but if people don't
Yeah.
read them, so what? It's not that big a deal to me. It's beautiful. I'm beyond ambition. I really am. And so I'm free.